Welcome to Ollivander's Wands. I'm guessing you're in the market for a wand, and we have all sorts. How about a 16-inch rigid oak with the core from a centaur's urethra? Maybe a 12-inch supple willow with a mermaid's milk duct. One with a more traditional core like phoenix feather or dragon's heartstring? How about the fact that you don't need a wand to do magic, keeping you from being duped by sham artists that have fooled the entire magic community for centuries? I'm Ollamh, the destroyer of geek worlds. Correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, but bringing balance to the Force is going to be really bad for all the Jedi. The wand makers are the biggest scam artists in the Potter universe. You don't need a wand to do magic. You never have. In the wizarding world of Harry Potter, the importance of a wand is pretty extreme. The best way to defeat a wizard or witch is to disarm them. Take away their wand and they can't cast any spells. Kids are usually given wands at the age of 11 and trained in their use at school for the next several years. The focus on using a wand to use magic is doing a disservice to the young magic user. Now, the fact that wands aren't required is pretty obvious when you look at the way Harry Potter realized he was a wizard. He was able to cast magic spells before he even knew that magic existed, though it was sporadic and happened when he was extremely stressed, such as causing the glass to disappear in the reptile house. Now, there are other occurrences of wandless magic. Tom Riddle uses magic to control the minds of others before he knew about magic, and even Dumbledore uses magic without a wand. It's generally accepted that using magic without a wand is difficult and requires a lot of concentration and power. I think it's much more likely that wizards and witches have crippled themselves by reliance on a stick of wood. It obviously doesn't take much power or concentration when literally a child can perform magic without a wand. The ability is there, but through 7 years of schooling, the children are taught that they have to wave a piece of wood a certain way and utter a specific phrase to make something happen. It's akin to a child starting to walk, so giving them a motorized wheelchair. What are some of the consequences of dependence on a wand? How about the fact that it aids in the leaderboard-style rankings of wizards? The magic world has the idea that when one witch or wizard defeats another, the loser's wand's allegiance switches to the winner. So, if the two face off against one another again, the loser will lose again because their wand isn't going to perform to full efficiency. But is this how they really work? Is it the wand won't work properly, or is the confidence of the wizard or witch broken? When Harry's wand is broken, he started using one that was uncomfortable and unfamiliar. He was told that it was because he didn't win the wand. But how well can you use a tool that is very different from what you've used for 6 years? It goes beyond just the wand itself. For example, Draco disarms Dumbledore, thus winning the allegiance of the Elder Wand. When Harry disarms Draco, not through magic, but with a well-placed punch, he won the Elder Wand, even though he didn't possess it. This wasn't known by Voldemort, when he faced off against Harry for the last time. He'd been using the Elder Wand with very little problems, including in the Dark Forest when he cast the killing curse against Harry. Voldemort doesn't have trouble with his wand until Harry plants the seed of doubt in his mind. Harry tells Voldemort that he doesn't truly own the Elder Wand because of the circumstances of its lineage, which it is suggested causes the Elder Wand to bow to Harry's spell and no longer work against him. But it's much more likely that the wand has nothing to do with it, but it's Voldemort's lack of confidence that causes him to lose their final duel. The idea of wand allegiance also means that nobody would ever duel for fun. If in the second book, one student during the school-sanctioned duels defeats another, the loser's wand is now owned by the winning student. The loser won't ever be able to defeat the winner again, and heaven help the loser if they wind up in an actual fight in their adult years. Let's think about it another way. Student A defeats Student B, but Student B defeats Student C. Can Student C ever defeat Student A? By the overly detailed rules of wands, no. Student C will definitely lose to Student A, because Student C's wand would owe allegiance to Student A. If Student A went on to become a Death Eater, neither Student B nor C would be able to defeat them. In fact, if this is the case, any evil wizard that was captured, they should put his or her wand in their hand and have an auror disarm them. That would ensure that someone could always defeat them in the future if they ever go back to their wicked ways. All of this because the wizards fool themselves into thinking their wands are semi-sentient things that know who has defeated whom. It's somehow easier for them to believe that wands know everything going on in the world, than that if they believe in themselves, they will be fine. Whenever you're looking into a conspiracy like this, you have to ask who benefits. In this case, the people who make and sell wands. It's people like Ollivander that profit from the need for wands, as well as the prestige of such an important job. Whether it is still true for the current generation of the Ollivander family, Garrick, is kind of up in the air. But realize his family has been making wands since 382 BC. That's over 2,000 years before the British Ministry of Magic was formed. While it is likely that the ministry regulates the affordable value as wands are necessary for using magic. So it is arguable that Garrick Ollivander doesn't do it for the money and believes that wands are important. His family's been dependent on those sales for millennia. He, like everyone else in the magic world, has come to accept that they are required, even to the point where he feels that the wand picks the wizard instead of the young wizard feels comfortable with it and shows that through emotional, magical demonstration. So that shows how the wands in the Potterverse are not a requirement, but a focus for witches and wizards. The magic world has, in fact, crippled themselves and their development because of this reliance. So what do you think? Do you agree that wands aren't required, or do the cores make magic possible? Would the magic users be able to do magic without wands more easily if they didn't rely on wands for so long? Or does it take too much concentration? I'd love to know what you think, so leave a comment, send us a tweet or a post on our Facebook page, and let us know your thoughts. As always, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to prod the subscribe button down below so that you can stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions.
If you wanna see some crazy,
Cheerio.
so lazy, then you should meet me and my friends.
The islands are kind of weird because it's like we can't really get up but we can if we're lucky.
Did the realization that Connor was there just give her an orgasm? I know sexualization is a big draw in movies, but damn, guys.